Hello again, this is Marky Mark, and this is my second video, and this is part 2 of my Voice of Reason assassin. Hopefully, by the time we clear the game, we'll have a Rift assassin, but maybe we can make it without the Rift. So this is Bella, my second character for the latter season 10. So right now, just since I didn't really show too much of it in the first video, I'll actually show you the stats and the skill tree and the mercenary and all that a little bit more in depth. I'm way over capped on strength, dexterity. I have 60 points into dexterity. My weapon is a dimensional blade, so I put the 60 points in dexterity for that. My strength and dexterity is boosted a lot by the helmet and the shield, so I'm kind of got way too many points into the strength and dexterity, so I could restat and get more vitality, but right now we're just going with 997 life, no points into energy, 194 mana, no insight, no mana steal. We're just using potions. Death Sentry costs 20 mana, so we can easily throw up all 5 Death Sentries, and we do have a belt that gives us damage taken goes to mana. That helps with the mana a little bit when we're in melee range. As far as the resistances, since I put on Storm Shield instead of Ancient's Pledge, we're not max resistances, so we're now using a level 3 Fade to cap out the resistances. I'm also wearing Treachery, which when that procs, it gives us a level 15 Fade, and that'll give us higher physical damage reduction. The rest of the gear, the Storm Shield has a 9 all-resist jewel in it, and that physical damage reduced by 35%, which is what we're hoping will keep us alive without lifesteal. And Atmoscarab to proc the Amplify damage, which works really well with the Corpse Explosions from Death Sentry. Also helps our Mercenary out a good bit. Helmet with resistances, and to get the 2-piece bonus from the boots, which gives us magic damage reduction, which we also have that on Dwarf Star for life and damage reduction. Magic damage reduction is actually really good on Player's 1 setting. If you have a substantial amount of it, a lot of times those monsters shooting little fireballs and ice bolts at you just get reduced to the point where you only have to worry about the melee physical damage coming at you. I really like it when I do Ubers and I do use Impale Amazon. I just like to get a lot of magic damage reduction for going against Mephisto. Since usually I don't have quite capped out on the resistances, but the magic damage reduction helps a lot from all those archers and mages. And we also have the Treachery, like I said. The increased attack speed on the Treachery helps a lot with the traps, the speed that we lay them. Gloves also give us attack speed for laying traps. I don't think the damage versus demons works on the kicks, but it does give us 50 fire resistance, which is kind of nice. We've also got resistances on the boots. Storm Shield has resistances. The helmet has resistances. The belt, it's an upped Night Smoke, gives us all resistances 10. Probably could use a different belt, but for now that's what we got. The boots are up to Boneweave boots, just to get, we don't have the highest damage kicks, but Boneweave boots aren't bad for kicking. Ravenfrost, even though we already have Cannot Be Frozen on the Voice of Reason, if we get the Rift, we will need the Cannot Be Frozen on the Ravenfrost, but it does give attack rating, dexterity, mana, cold absorb, just helpful stats. The Voice of Reason itself already gives the enemies minus 24 enemy cold resistance, boosting the cold damage from the Frozen Orb, the Ice Blast, and the added damage that I think goes on the kicks, the 100 to 220 cold damage. And the rest of the stats I don't think really help much with the kicks or our character. I'm not going to go through all the charms, but pretty much every single one is either a life charm or a resistance charm. I won't go over that. So I decided for part 2 of my Voice of Reason assassin, that I'm just gonna highlight my playthrough of the game. The first video we went through the Lost City and did the Claw Viper Temple for getting the quest piece, and now we have the staff. So now I'm just gonna do a little bit of tombs and then kill Duriel. And I already have a portal to Duriel. And the only thing we really need to do against Duriel is swap out the amulet, because we don't want amplified damage on Duriel, because we're going to use this weapon we have on swap to get life tap, and that'll help the mercenary survive a lot better. And I don't even think I'm going to try laying traps against him, because the Death Sentry lightning damage isn't the greatest. But if I stand next to him with life tap and just try kicking the crap out of him, I think that might just do the trick. So that's on swap. And then for the skills, we just put 1 point into all of these. Cloak of Shadows, really good. It stops range attackers from shooting you, because if they're blinded, they can't see you. Melee monsters, unless they've already started walking towards you or coming at you, just kind of stand around and don't see you, and that means less monsters coming at you. 1 point into Shadow Warrior, which on my other assassin I put a lot more points into Shadow Warrior, because when I was using Blade Fury I didn't want to stop to resummon the Shadow Warrior a lot. But just right now I'm just resummoning the Shadow Warrior constantly, and it's enough of a distraction that kind of draws some of the fire away from me and my mercenary. And as an added bonus, the Shadow Warrior can drop some Death Sentries, get some more corpse explosions going on. That kind of helps without me having to lay as many of them. And the Shadow Warrior can also cast Cloak of Shadows, which is kind of nice. You can have Cloak of Shadows active, and your Shadow Warrior can have Cloak of Shadows active at the same time. So that range of 20 yards, sometimes your Shadow Warrior can either do it before you, or they can also hit more monsters with it because of the position that the Shadow Warrior is standing in. It's kind of nice. And we're using level 3 Fade, and that's just until the Treachery can proc Fade, because that's a better Fade. It's level 15 Fade. That's why I didn't put any points into Burst of Speed and Fade beyond the 1 point. Like I said, traps, we're doing 20 into Lightning Sentry to get the synergy bonus with Death Sentry. And Death Sentry pretty much really good density clear. I feel like it's going to be pretty good all through hell, even though it doesn't do a whole lot of lightning damage. But we're on players 1 game, so I think it'll be fine. 1 point into Blade Shield, just in case I'm standing next to monsters and they hit me. It gives me an extra way to use the Frozen Orb proc off my weapon. Yeah, and then Martial Arts, 20 into Dragon Talon. That's our single target attack. Just 4 real quick kicks on the monster, proc as many Frozen Orbs as possible, slow the monsters down with Frozen Orb, get some extra cold damage in there. And I'm actually experimenting with the rest of my points. I think I'm going to try to boost up Phoenix Strike to get additional elemental damage. I can just try and find a safe place to attack and hit a monster 3 times real quick to get the Phoenix Strike charges on there. And then with Dragon Talon, it gets 4 kicks. It'll just use up all 3 charges instantly from 1 Dragon Talon. And it'll just be a nice extra bit of elemental damage to use. So we're going to try that out as we level up. But for right now, I went ahead and put all these mana potions there for Duriel, because I think I might need mana potions for Duriel, not sure. But, yeah, let's just, I guess we'll go in the tombs a little bit. Let me do my buffs. Blade Shield, Fade. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time in the tombs. Just going to do it enough to show you how good Death Sentry is against a bunch of Haradrim Ancients and Skeletons. Make sure I don't go in the tomb already cleared. Square. Yeah, we'll go in that one. Now, I've been sitting on my butt, kind of taking a smoke break, so I might have to be careful. Gonna have to be careful on my tactics that I don't mess up too bad. since I haven't been playing. I'm not warmed up now. I've been sitting. Steel scarabs, immune to lightning. Yeah, so wasn't a lot of skeletons there. That's what we want. Skeletons and these little unraveler guys. That clears out a room real fast. This looks like one of the smaller tombs. Maybe I will clear this whole tomb. Yeah, and my problem before was I wasn't using Cloak of Shadows enough. Should be using Cloak of Shadows way more often. See, those guys just stood there and didn't come at us. These guys are immune to cold. Take a little bit longer to kill. Scarabs though, piece of cake. It's Cloak of Shadows. I will say I had a nasty little run-in with Fanaticism Brutes. I don't want to go into detail about what happened with that, but perhaps I should have kited a little bit more. Yeah, there's only one more branch on this little tomb here, so we'll go through the last branch, and then we'll go kill Duriel. See if the life tap does the job. Yeah, I think that's my problem. I wasn't using Cloak of Shadows enough before. Oh, I got a level. I didn't realize I was that close to a level. Also immune to cold. Yeah, I'm not even being attacked really. Cloak of Shadows seems to be doing pretty good. I will say my Merc does a lot of damage. I forgot to show you my Merc gear. I'll do that when I go back to town. I did get really lucky and find an ethereal 5-socket thresher. Yeah, scarabs are a problem. There, that's it. I can't use a portal because I got a portal to Duriel, so I'm gonna have to run back. But yeah, I think the reason the scarabs don't do a lot of damage with the little charge bolts is because I have all that magic damage reduction, and charge bolts don't do a lot of damage. It's just that there's a lot of them. So it's really just our physical attack I have to worry about. But yeah, I had some bad experiences in the Canyon of the Magi. I don't want to go into all that. But think I probably should use better tactics. Once we get farther and there's more of those really large enemies that do a lot of physical damage, we'll have to rethink our strategy a little bit. But Merc gear. Yeah, so this could just be a non-ethereal, but it's an obedience, pretty budget. All it takes is like a foul, a co, and a heal. Does a lot of damage. Gives them resistances, defense, crushing blow, which is going to be really helpful against the boss. You can make that in like a man catcher as well. If I had better armor for him, like a treachery for him, then I think he'd be alright with a non-ethereal thresher. That would make it a lot faster, and it kind of compensate for the fact mine's a lot more damage. And he's just got a Tau helm, 10% lifesteal, 60 life. So stat points, 5 into vitality, skill point. Like I said, we're going to try Phoenix Strike. And yeah, let's go fight Duriel. Do my buffs. Okay, I got to swap my amulet. What do we want to put on? I was going to put on this one, I think. For the bonus to attack rating and the defense. And we'll get life tap ready. Oh, whoops. That's not going to work. Life tap, I think, lasts almost 30 seconds, so we'll see how fast we can kill him. There, we got life tap on. Merc's healing. Just like going Ubers. Can't even hit him with my kicks. Can't even hit him. Well, the Merc probably did most of the work because I could barely hit him. I guess he's like level 88 or something. And I'm level 75. Yeah, I think my Merc was doing most of the work there. I guess that's not that great for a video. But the life tap, though, just went to Nightmare Act 1 and kept going in and out of town to find a life tap wand that stopped the mercenary from dying. So maybe with like a non-ethereal thresher, and maybe if you had a better armor, you could just use the same strategy, since I guess this character is not great for killing bosses. But yeah, I guess for the next video, part 3 of my questing, I'll try to show you the High Council and Mephisto.
I thank you.
Yeah, we'll go for High Council and Mephisto. That should be a tough fight because
I shall track the prime
mercenaries suck at hydras. So we're going to have to get kind of creative on how we're going to beat them. But anyways, I'm not going to drag the video on longer, but hopefully I'll see you for part 3. Thanks for watching.